Okay, we're doing this. We're finishing this thing. Okay, we're going to try and get through the last 20 minutes of this episode, and hopefully it's the last part, okay? Because I'm done. I am done. It got a little too personal in the stories last episode. I don't know why this stuff is on the internet. Anyways, that being said, guys, jumping into it. We're sleuthing. We're going to see some more tears, I am sure. We're going to see some confessions, I am sure. Maria has hinted there's something coming up that she wants me to look for. You keep your eyes out for it too, okay? Anyways, yeah, let's jump right into it. Recap. Rebecca shared a very deeply personal story that happened to her when she was younger. I don't want to talk about it on the channel. I edited it out for the last video, and we are not going to discuss it here, but they're going to continue to discuss certain elements of it. I will edit out anything I deem to be inappropriate. Just so you know, if you want to actually see this very uncomfortable thing that she's talking about, you can go and check it out for yourself.
Very angry.
I want names.
I feel like this is where fat girls come together, because I feel like through various levels, growing up was just crap.
Mm-hmm. Dramatic.
Like,
I'm sorry, what? This is where fat girls come together? Everybody has trauma, you know. And not everybody has the same trauma as Rebecca. You all might have different issues, but everybody has issues. A lot of people have traumatic things happen in their lives. It's so weird how they connect everything to fatness. Just saying. That's weird. I mean, you might think that a lot of your incidents have to do with being fat, but I've heard some of your stories and you're projecting. I'm sorry to say that. I know it's touchy subject because the really, really, uncomfortable story that I did not let you hear. But it's just so strange they can circle back and connect it all to fatness when I'm not so sure that's the case.
Actually traumatic. I personally feel silly about it sometimes in therapy, because I'm like, yeah, like everyone gets bullied. But like, that's like a whole nother level.
Right.
Like, I truly am sitting here because I just like, there's like no words, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, where are the people?
Well, and I think like in a situation like that, like, I didn't even see it as me being bullied.
Yeah.
I saw it as, this is just the truth of the matter.
Yeah. I know. And it makes it,
That's what makes it hurt, I think.
Yeah.
And no, it makes
Even
it hurt
more,
so much.
Even more is that like you,
It's
in
me.
your mind,
It's
it was
me.
you.
Yeah.
And it wasn't.
Yeah.
So I don't want to discount Rebecca's story so much or too much, because I know there was an element of that story that concerned how she looked. I do want to say her situation, it happens unfortunately to a lot of girls. Not trying to dismiss anything. I'm just saying there is a female issue here with the power that I think should be first and foremost in this discussion, not necessarily a fatness being the forefront of this discussion. If they were having this talk and they were presenting it from a woman's point of view of like, this is this type of SA is something that a lot of girls go through, then that would make sense. I think her using it as a formative origin story for her body issues and projecting onto fatness is avoiding the core issue of SA. And she was a younger person. This was a child being pressured to do something. A bigger, stronger boy, and she's a girl, a smaller girl. Doesn't matter if she's overweight. Of course, the comments that he made did have to do with her body, but let's talk about, God, I can't even believe I'm doing this. Okay, I'm gonna have to like put a warning on my video. If we talk about SA with with girls, the majority of that occurs because it's a power dynamic. It's someone exerting power over somebody else. And so it's my personal opinion that when you have somebody who's committing this act, he chose the thing to insult her that he knew would hurt most. If she'd looked different, I think he would have chosen something else to insult her with, because exerting that power, as I said, is part of the SA process. So yeah, I apologize for this very uncomfortable situation, but I need to express what we know about this topic to make you understand that she's wrapping it all up around her body. She needs to maybe she does need to go to therapy and have that separated out. Because if she can understand that this probably would have happened to her regardless of what she looked like, she could let go of that current fear and trauma of what she has today. And that's a horrific conclusion to this, because you don't want to say, oh, it would have happened regardless. But unfortunately, we need to make better parents that make better kids, right?
God,
I'm telling you that, but I'm also telling little Rebecca in there that it wasn't her fault. It wasn't her fault. It was not her fault. It wasn't her body. It was two kids. Yeah, they were kids, and kids do dumb shit. It wasn't you. It wasn't your body. It wasn't your fault.
She's right. It wasn't her body. And she does need to hear that. It was not her body.
Yeah, no, I
broke Allie. She didn't break me, but I broke Allie.
I was gonna say, I think I need a minute.
Rebecca, this was supposed to happen to you.
No, I know. I feel like a panic attack going on. Like literally.
It's funny because I really do, like, sometimes
It's not
I'm like,
funny.
well, it's funny because in my mind I think, am I making it more dramatic than it is? But to like share that, I feel like I am, like I minimize so much what happens to me. I minimize it and minimize it.
Well, yeah, girl, that's a survival
Stop
tactic.
doing that. Like, if you have any more stories like that, please get them out and please tell us, because at least, like, if you can't cry about it, let us cry for little Rebecca, because she sucks, man.
There's other things that I haven't shared with many people, but yeah.
I do have a question surrounding all that. So we both grew up kind of like Catholic and all that. Do you think that any of like the Catholic guilt was associated with why you didn't tell anyone or talk about it?
I don't know if it was necessarily the Catholic guilt, although certainly I'm really good at feeling guilt. They did that right. When I think about it, I really don't. I think it's because people didn't talk openly about their experiences. I didn't, and not to like shame my mother, but like, I don't know what experience my mom had. Whenever I hear things about her childhood, it just seems kind of like idyllic childhood. Like, but I know she probably went through things, and my sister and I can sometimes talk about things that happened as kids, but we really don't talk about those things, So I think it's more so just like that those kind of things weren't up for discussion. And because we didn't talk about that kind of stuff, why would I share, right? And kind of like just keeping it in. That's just normal. Keep it to myself.
I think this is so off topic, but I think that is something that happens a lot in Christian households, Catholic or Christian or whatever, any kind of really conservative type religion. There's this idea that if you talk about sex, that your kid's going to like run off and do it, when it's really the opposite. You have to just be very communicative about consequences, realities, functions. You have to talk about everything, and you have to give them a complete and total understanding as best that you can, and then send them out into the world. Instead, there's this idea that if we just keep it all a secret, they're not going to do it. But then you end up in situations like this where somebody doesn't know what to do. They're confronted with this situation and then they can't say no. So yeah, if you're in a situation and you have a child, I think you should really take that into consideration. I think a lot of religious conservative people would benefit from just being more open with their children about the realities of these things. I've actually I talk about this with my friends so many times, but I honestly believe that like a specific generation of people acted very not conservative, became quite conservative, and then raised their kids, didn't talk to their kids about these things that they all did. And I think it's because they were ashamed of it. And then those kids grew up, they went out in the world, and that's how we got so much of the flop millennial generation. Yeah. And if you're from that generation I just put down a second ago, doesn't mean I'm specifically talking about you. I'm just talking about generalizations here. Take it or leave it.
Don't tell anyone.
Yeah, I don't really know if that was like a 90s kids thing or
Yeah.
if it was like
It feels a little
Catholic
bit of
thing,
like
it
product
feels
of the
both.
time. It feels very product
Yeah.
of the time
Yeah.
to me. Yeah.
She's absolutely right. That's exactly what I said. It's a product of the time, a very specific generation. I'm a year younger than Rebecca. Okay, I remember this stuff.
Yeah. Well, and I think
No, it's
No,
not
like, oh,
that.
boring. I'm
No.
kidding.
I like really was trying to stop a like we're
Oh.
pausing for a second. I was like
Oh.
trying to stop a panic
Oh,
attack.
okay, I thought you were yawning.
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay.
you okay?
Yeah, I just took like a
The
deep breath in,
okay.
and then it did cause me to yawn because I'm like huffing in
Oh,
air.
yeah.
Okay.
So I was like, no, you're not boring me. I'm just trying to emotionally
Can we do a makeup
regulate.
check for everybody except for Rebecca?
So enough about that. But speaking of bananas, we know that you're a big banana ball girly. And
She is a banana ball girly. Wait,
Right?
maybe we could get a partnership with the banana.
Oh my god!
The banana balls.
I was gonna say the
Banana
banana
balls.
balls.
I feel like the party animals would love us.
I actually
I
was
think
gonna
they
say
would.
maybe we're more
100%.
party animal
And
girls.
we need to get Maria a crown because she's the queen of segues. Literally the queen of segues.
Also, her questions are way better.
I mean, I agree. My jaw dropped when she said that. I was like, oh my God.
Than the rest of us.
100%.
I know.
100%.
Thanks, ladies. Anyway, this isn't my episode.
Proof, once again, Maria's funnier than Allie. Sorry, Allie. And sorry, Maria, you didn't get your episode.
Save it for my gas me up on my episode, everybody.
So we know you're a big banana ball girly. You know, cute boy shenanigans. Who wouldn't love that? But we went to a game
Mhm.
and it was a little rough,
It
especially
was.
for your girl. So as far as like venues go and accommodations for fat friendly seating, like, do you have any tips or tricks or things you'd want to tell people, or even like if you could dream big and be like, fix it now, and they'd listen, what would you do?
I want to commend Maria for like actually being on topic for what their channel is. Now, I'm not in fat acceptance, but at least somebody has their eye on the ball. This explains so much of why the eye gets off the ball after she leaves.
The only trick is preparation, and golly, I can worry way ahead of time, so I'm pretty good on figuring out how to prepare. You know, I think whenever it came to the game we went to, which was at the like Durham Bulls Stadium, we had looked online and such, and we had talked about calling, and we never called.
Yeah.
And when we got there, their accommodating seating really was just spaces for people that needed, maybe like they had like a wheelchair or something, and then they'd have a couple seats, but the pull-up seats they had were all metal with little metal chairs with armrests, so accommodating really what they would see as able bodies with people that would need,
Sure.
you know. And so quite frankly, we lucked out in the fact that
Yeah.
we were able to get one chair that didn't have armrest. I think this year, because this year we're planning to go to 4 games, right? Like we're up in
Yeah.
our level of banana-dom. I absolutely am going to look up all the rules of the chairs, but I'm calling each stadium personally. And I'm going to say, we have this specific need and this specific accommodation request. What will that look like? And, you know, I believe it is their job to accommodate. Now, if they're like, well, we'll allow y'all to bring chairs, cool, we got chairs.
Yeah, I got chairs.
But I am going to say, we have this specific need. How will you be able to accommodate us? And I'm going to position it back on them and see what the response is. So that's my hope. Like, their goal should be to be able to have their guests. So what are you doing to make sure that you are accommodating your guests? Now, I mean, one thing that I'm thinking about is we are, as a group, going to go to a game, right?
Mhm.
And so that means it needs to be more than one chair.
Yeah.
The accommodation can't be there's one singular
Yeah.
chair that can handle it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And
But I had to fight for
yeah,
off of the literal baseball stadium. Like, it was literally just out in the field, and I was like, somebody needs to bring me that.
yeah. So
And they did.
so that is a conversation.
So I can see both sides of this really quick, and it's not the sides that you're thinking. I'm not really concerned about I'm not really like sure about like what this venue is. It sounds like a baseball stadium. Like, please correct me if I'm wrong. I was like trying to follow, and I'm still mentally exhausted from everything that I've been through. But she brings up the whole topic of bringing your own chair. And on the surface, that sounds great, right? Like, that sounds great. Like, okay, bring your own chair. That's fair. If they have the space for you, bring your own chair. They're not having to have to like provide a chair. That can seem like pretty fair, I think. On the other hand, when she says it's a sports venue, we have to remember what sports venues are like. There's typically alcohol. There's all these different factors. If people are allowed to bring their own chairs typically are made of like wood or metal. I want you to think about the violent fights that break out at these stadiums. What if somebody picks up one of these chairs and throws it or uses it to hit somebody with it? There is a liability concern here. That's why the chairs at these like baseball stadiums are like bolted into the stadium. And I think about this because I literally live 5 minutes away from where that there was like that Pistons brawl took place. I think it was like, oh my god, it was like 20 years ago, or even like more than 20 years ago. Like, you have to look this up. Like, there was the Detroit Pistons. There was a massive fight. Like, basketball players started jumping into the stands and beating up fans, and stuff was being thrown. And that was just a drink being thrown. Imagine a whole ass chair. So, while on the surface, like I said, it sounds like a good idea to just, allow me to accommodate myself, there are actual concerns there. There are liabilities.
And you know what's funny is when we went to the banana game, did I see multiple people that were like standing because they couldn't sit and like we're not the only ones that need it. They got to think ahead. So yeah, I think like dream accommodations would be different types of chairs allowed. Like, I don't, besides like the view, which is my guess for concerts of why they want the low slung chairs, the amount of people that can't get that low, older people, people in big bodies, people with bad knees, any of that kind of stuff. Why? Could there be a section for higher up chairs and a section for lower chairs? Like, if someone wanted to damage someone with a chair, whether it's low or high, they're still gonna be able to damage someone with a chair.
Could there
Like,
be a section with just bleachers?
yeah.
Interesting that she brings it up too. Damage somebody with a chair.
Like, there needs to be, my best thing for any venue, there needs to be multiple seat types. Restaurants, there needs to be multiple seat types.
I was just going to ask you that question, like, to piggyback on her question. Like, if you could, like, just do like an all call to like all like venues, restaurants, like, what would you say as far as accessibility goes? Because I know there's also people who are just like, well, just lose weight and then you can sit wherever you want. What would you say?
I would say you need to have flexible seating. And that means like different types of seats, bench style seat, seats with armrests, seats without armrests. When you have a booth, the table needs to be able to move. If you can have an end booth where the end booth isn't belted to the ground and the end booth can move.
Yeah.
All of that stuff can make it easier. Oh, and if you have an outdoor patio area, you better have some flexible seating there too, because they'll have it's always a little garden, like little chairs with the armrest. I mean, it's every single time. They're awful.
Can we talk about wedding chairs? Can we talk about those damn wedding chairs?
Yeah.
The ones
that you're perching, that fold, and you're just
you're holding on. Your legs wind up hurting at the end of the night because you've been just holding on for dear life.
Okay, so we're just talking about these different kinds of chairs. I will say, I do think it's actually a good idea. Not that I need them at this point, but I think about the movie theater near my house, and there are actually like a lot of like love seat chairs where couples can sit together. But to be fair, you could just get that for yourself if you need it. And so I could see that being a thing and say like larger venues. What I have a problem with is when you try to apply it to smaller venues like restaurants. Like, I can understand like a restaurant having a couple extra chairs, but a lot of restaurants really operate like just barely in the black. They're barely making ends meet. A lot of restaurants go under, and so them investing in like completely different furniture for such an outlier, it seems like it'd be untenable. But then again, is it really an outlier for restaurants? Big people do eat. It's a whole other conversation.
Yeah. And it's amazing to me how many restaurateurs in like Charlotte, they'll do multiple restaurants and they never fix their seating. I'm like, you've opened now 4 restaurants.
With those tiny metal chairs.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know who you are.
And you have still chosen to not accommodate other types of bodies. And again, when you accommodate one person's needs, it's usually accommodating a lot more people's needs.
Yeah.
Not
Flex-
only that,
yeah,
but if people
flexible
are
season's great for
comfortable,
everything.
they pay.
Yeah. And they're going to come more often.
Right. Because they're going to keep showing up. They're going to find their favorites. They're going to want to try
And if
more
you believe the
things.
assumption that fat girls just order the whole menu, don't you want us to be there?
Exactly. I'm sorry, but that is actually a good point. That's the best point that she's made. I brought it up first, just saying, before I heard her say it. But clearly, that is the thing here. That is the best argument for restaurants. They're not in the business of keeping people thin. That's for dang sure. I mean, you order something off the menu that's like this big and it's 1,000 calories because there's like a giant amount of butter and oil in it.
Like if the assumption is we're gonna get a starter, a meal, a salad, a dessert, some drinks.
Maybe not the salad.
Get us some down.
Invite us. Like that means our billing
Get
is
us some
larger.
seats.
There's room for all food.
Yes. But like, damn, like if the assumption is we're gonna eat more, you should want us.
Yeah. Get some comfortable seats, man.
I kind of want to keep it rolling in like some fun, lighter topics. I
Okay.
don't know why, but just this is
I
just
broke
how
y'all.
I'm feeling.
You broke us. We were trying to break you, and you broke all of us. I sobbed.
Yeah,
I'm
she's very
literally having
tricky.
my water bottle.
So, getting into another fun one, you and I have a shared love of reality TV, especially the competition ones. If you could go on any one, which would it be?
Okay. I love Big Brother most.
Yeah.
And I think it's possible that I would have a breakdown on Big Brother because you are locked in a home with other people and you only get to go outside on certain days. And it is the same people for 90 days. And
she's a uber introvert. She would not survive. And that's no shade on you, girl. It's every other Enneagram 5 as well.
90
and you
days?
vote people off.
Sometimes it's
I don't
100
know how
days.
Big
Yeah,
Brother
and you
works.
vote people off. So like Big Brother's watching, you're always on film, so you do not get a break. There's not a time where you're unmiked,
You're
nothing.
with these people for 3 months?
And you're voting them
Yes.
off. And you're strategizing with them. And you need to sell yourself to them. And you need to make, but not sell yourself too much because then they might want
I
to.
would get voted off first.
Even the
I know this
bathroom
about
has
myself.
a camera.
You can't poop in peace?
Nope.
No.
This is not
At
a
least you would see
place.
Rebecca cry.
There you go.
In the morning.
There's no cell phones. There's
I
no
don't know
books.
if this is for
The
me,
only
then.
book they have in there is you can get a holy text.
I would be whispering
I would
under
get
the
a
door.
holy text.
Yeah, I would
Yes.
actually request all the holy texts. I'd be like, my time to read. Let me just go through all
Right.
of
I
them.
would be
You'd be like,
whispering
I'll
under
just
the
read all
door
the
at
Bibles.
Rebecca, like, think about the soldiers.
Think about the puppies. Do it for the puppies.
Yeah, I would think about my puppy in a video. But it also is so silly and fun. But I think I have a strategy, which is
Don't give it away.
Don't give
We're gonna
up.
get you on
I
Big
mean,
Brother.
Okay, give us a
I
little.
want to hear a little at least.
Big Brother's really not meant for bigger bodies.
Yeah.
They do not build their sets
Unfortunately.
for bigger
Be
bodies.
better.
Yeah. But like as a bigger person, you are seen as the sidekick. And I will play up that fucking sidekick role
Yes.
so fast.
She looks
I'm the
diabolical
sidekick.
right now.
Like, let me amp you up. Ooh, tell me your secrets. I'm juicy with you. Yeah, I think the exact same thing as you.
I think she could do it. She could do it well.
I'm your fat funny
You
friend.
just
I
believed
think
her,
the
didn't
exact
you?
same thing as you.
But you actually do.
And you're the amazing. And I think you should.
You
do
hear
it
what
right
Maria
now.
said? You hear what she said? She's like, I think you'd be amazing at it. It's something that you do. We just went from really, really dark topics to finally a clue. Where's my magnifying glass? A clue. It was a clue, guys. It was a clue. You already whisper in people's ears and you ask for their secrets and you say, I got some juicy secrets of my own. And then you talk about them. And you say, you can trust me. And Maria's the one who said, that's what you already do. Clearly she did it to Maria. Maria got voted off the island. She got voted out of the house. The case was just cracked wide open. Ah, that was great.
They just don't see you the way that I see you.
I feel manipulated, but I like it.
Oh my God. Maria, how do you feel right now, girl? Watching this back. You were speaking truth and you didn't even know it at the time. Them two Fab Fatties were talking about you behind your back. And then you confirmed it without even knowing. We all know that's what happened. I'm so sorry. Dang. And she was the one keeping them on topic. Off of fashion.
And then I would hope that when they did the quiz comps, I
You
could pull
just-
out a win
yeah.
at some point. I'd want to play the middle. I'd want for people to feel like they can rely on me for my vote.
But you'd be the fat girl, so you wouldn't be intimidating to everyone. So you could totally do this.
Yeah. And I want them to think that potentially I'm a little bit of a goat they want to bring to the end because they could win against. Because who's going to vote for the fat girl? And then I want to do a major act of betrayal at the end.
Yes.
And be like, this is my game. I'm
Just
the main
not to
character.
me.
Yes. I want to get brought to the end because they don't think I'm a threat. And then I want to do a major act of betrayal. How is it that they can like talk about this and then not see the parallels in their own lives? I am so... I don't think I've ever seen anything that was like this transparent. I hope you all see just how obvious this is too. I don't think the reason why Maria left is a mystery anymore. I think we solved the case. That being said, I'm still going to watch the next episode just to see the conclusion of it all. We are currently in the climax of our story right here.
Yeah, that's what I
I love
love.
that.
Okay, Big Brother.
Call us.
So-
We got a contestant for
We
you.
got someone.
We have
But-
several
But
contestants.
she just gave away her
I
whole
want it
strategy, so
too.
don't call us.
If you do the ledge competition,
Yeah, don't.
we got butts.
Yeah, don't.
Our ledge needs to be farther from the wall.
Yes. Not only that, but when you inevitably give your interview and you're talking about, how you're going to really hold on there, don't do that bit where you cut right to that part and
Of
then
me
her
falling.
falling
And then they're like-
immediately, and then they're like,
"Bong, bong."
yes. Don't do that.
I don't
we're
even know
watching.
what this is, but I feel like I can
Same.
envision it.
No idea.
They'll be like, I'm gonna really pull it on this one, and then they'll picture me falling off the wall, and it'll be like
Immediately. Yeah.
Wah, wah,
Yeah.
wah,
Yeah.
wah, wah.
They
and
did
then,
that to
then
a
I'll
plus-size
know my
model.
butt getting up off the ground like it's humiliation all the way through.
And then
but-
they'll repeat it. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Okay, I have a
Keep
question.
going.
Rebecca,
Mhm.
I'm a huge fan of your personal style.
Mm.
I love the way that you
Lola
dress.
hair.
And no, I love the way that you dress. And I know that for both me and for Maria, you were one of the first like plus size influencers, bloggers that I started following. And I know that
stalked her.
your style has evolved over the years. But I've just always loved your style.
Thank you.
What do you think that your style says about you, or what do you want your style to say about you?
I hope my style shows confidence and very much like womanly. I am more feminine, but not like, I don't know what they call high femme. Like I'm not girly,
Yeah.
but I do feel like I want to be like a sophisticated woman.
I just want to say really quick that Maria was on topic about fat issues that we can actually talk about that have some merit, even if we don't agree with it, some merit of discussion that are on topic for issues that they should focus on. And then Allie brought up fashion. She brought up fashion again. It always comes back to fashion, and I wonder it's still basically only about fashion, unless I do like a specially dedicated episode to like medical issues. Anything else comes back to fashion. And that's what happens when Maria leaves the show. So sorry, Maria.
So the way we ended Allie's episode was kind of going around and saying one thing that we hope viewers and listeners like take away and know about Rebecca. So, Rebecca, I really hope that through this episode and through the content we continue to put out, that people just start to see how like genuine you are.
I'm a cold-hearted.
I don't think you are cold-hearted.
Genuine. After we just did that whole future-oriented reenactment, I don't even know how to phrase it. That precog Minority Report situation where we witnessed the planning of a murder, so to speak. Where she said she liked to whisper in people's ears and get their juicy secrets. Is that genuine? Is it? I think there's one of y'all in that group there, one of y'all four, who would disagree. But go on. Tell us lies.
No,
all.
not at all.
I think you're low-key so much fun. But maybe not even that low-key.
Not at all. She's high key so much fun. High key. Well, I think that if I had anything that I wanted people to take away from this episode, I want people to know how profound you are. I think that you are so profound. And I think that you are just, like I said, I think that you're so self-aware. And I know that that's painful sometimes. I think that you're so self-aware. I think that you're so profound. You're just so eloquent, so beautifully spoken. Everything that comes out of your mouth, I just hang on every word. I'm just like gushing over you right now. But
I honestly, I think you guys are right here with me, but I do not think she's self-aware. I don't think any of them are self-aware. I think they're all living in a delusion about the state of their health, how their health got to be the way it is. Unfortunately, none of that was talked about this episode, so can't really address it.
I do. And you ooze confidence in a way that is like the least arrogant and least presumptuous way possible.
Hard disagree. There's a lot of arrogance there. And when I say that, I'm so sorry. I apologize. Hard disagree. There's a lot of arrogance there. I know that sounds like an insult, and it is a criticism in some ways, but she does say things like, you don't get to know me. You don't get to know me. As if I'm up here and you're down here, you don't get to know me. If you don't match my values, my way of doing things, et cetera, that is arrogance. You're welcome to do whatever you want, but that is arrogance.
Yeah. My little surprising thing I learned was that you do this thing where you minimize your pain for the sake of others and like try and think that like yours isn't as big, so it shouldn't matter, it's not as important. And I just want you to know it matters, it's important, you matter, you're important.
You were really anxious coming into this episode, and I am proud of you. You got really vulnerable and you shared a lot about yourself.
Yeah.
A lot about yourself.
And I've said this once and I've said it again, like, y'all enable me to have conversations I haven't had, and I think part of it is your personalities, but part of it truly is carving out a space to have them, right? Because I can say I trust people all day, but if we don't talk about serious things, because I'm so close to my sister, we just don't talk about these things, right? We don't have a space for them. We talk about other things and we love and connect on that stuff, but to actually have a space where you get to bring those forward, like it's not only that it's safe to, but like, no, we dedicated this time to connect this way, to have these moments, to share these things that we've held in and we've just grown through and acted in whatever way we felt we could. I prize it. So thank you.
Well,
we're friends.
We're fat.
We're fab.
We're four.
And we will see you next time.
Yep.
Bye.
Okay, guys, I tried to pause it after Maria finished her little speech about what she wanted people to know about Rebecca. I couldn't pause it in time. I'm just going to say it now, but I know we're like all technically on Maria's side, at least most of us. And so there is a little bit of bias here. But when it comes to genuineness, just looking at people's facial expressions, you can tell Maria absolutely cares for Rebecca in this video. She absolutely cares. Like, that is not fake tears at all. I mean, I think they all care about her to some extent, but you can see, like, Maria is, like, feeling Rebecca's pain, or what the pain that she imagines Rebecca is feeling. She is empathizing hardcore. And you can definitely tell that she thinks that Rebecca's her best friend, and she wants to protect her. It's really sad. I think this episode basically alluded to the fact that she was stabbed in the back. Rebecca basically pulled the big brother strategy that she shared on her. At least that's what it sounds like to me. And please correct me if I'm wrong, Maria. You can share as much as you want or as little as you want. And yeah, guys, what do you think about that? Did we pick it up? Did we pick up all the clues? Did we find them all? Did we solve this case? Is it solved? We have one more episode of the Fab Fatties to get through, a few more parts, and then we're going to see. In the meantime, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.